Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, going to go a story titled, My Wife, a 32-year-old female, keeps throwing divorce in my face over everything. I just agreed and left. And a big shout out to Joseph for sending me this story. And guys, this story is about a guy who's been married to his wife for 4 years now. And from the get-go, she was a stay-at-home mom. She wasn't working. And this guy really, as you can tell, tried to make everything work right. He's working hard, 60 hours a week. He does all these things at home, even though she doesn't work. And she's been nothing but a giant pain in the ass over everything. And you're going to see he describes her as just being a drama queen, starting fights with the dumbest things, all that, not appreciating him. And finally, he had enough, and he's done with her. And I might add, amongst her starting fights, she threatens to divorce him, even though he's taking care of everything she hasn't made. And I'm doing this story as an example why there's a point, guys, if you're going to do marriage or relationships, there's a point you just walk. It's over with. There's nothing redeemable about your relationship or her. And honestly, if it's a girl and she's doing everything and the guy's a dirtbag, there's a point that she should walk too. Life is too short. But also, you're going to see this guy, although I'm sure he meant well, he enabled her behavior too. And sometimes, unfortunately, the more giving you are, if you're with a taker, they're just going to take, and never be happy. And some people you just can never make happy. And also, oftentimes, those people are the women. So, it says here, I'm currently staying with my sister. My wife and I have been together for 5 years, married for 4. We had known each other for years prior. We have one kid together who is 4 years old. Well, clearly, amigo, you didn't know her well enough. I'm the primary breadwinner in the house, and she's a stay-at-home mom. It was her choice not to go back to work. Oh, I'm certainly sure that was the case. For the last year and a half, we've been having arguments 1 or 2 times a month. To be clear, I do help out with our daughter. I clean, cook, and involve with both of them. The first time she said she wanted a divorce was when we got into an argument when my sister called and asked if she could stay with us for a bit as she was having romantic problems or relationship problems. I said she could, and my wife was not happy about that. Well, if you didn't mention it to her, I can see why she'd be a little bit annoyed, but still, it's family, you help them out. Especially if your sister is a nice girl. I pointed out that her friend stayed with us for a couple months for 5 weeks and didn't do anything around the house. Plus, she was just there. No discussion, nothing. She was a stranger to me and my daughter. My sister is lovely, has a great relationship with our daughter, and I thought my wife was as well. Well, clearly there can only be so many hens in the hen house. She ended up staying with us for a week, helping out around the house, cooking, cleaning, and watching our daughter when needed. There you go. She was a great house guest. And you help out family. I thought we both forgave each other and moved on. Forgave about what? The fights are usually over something small. 90% are not started by me. I've suggested therapy and counseling, but she always says she and we never need it. 90%. Now, of course, this is his side of the story, fair enough, but I think pretty accurate here. 90% of the fights over small, stupid shit. When people start fights over stupid shit all the time, that says to me they are just miserable people and just want to lash out, and whatever reason is making them miserable. Well, I had it last night. She picked a fight saying I was spending too much time at work, and that she feels abandoned and that I'm not a good father, ending her rant with, I want a divorce. So her thing is always, I want a divorce, I want a divorce. And I'm sure some of you guys have known girls that like that. I want to break up, we're done, da-da-da. And it's like they're bluffing to see if you'll take them seriously so they can have power in the position. I know she's giving a shit about working all the time. He's the only one that works. How else are the bills going to be paid? I bet you if he didn't work as much and had a lower paying job, she'd bitch there wasn't enough money. But watch what she does with the money he works so hard at. I stood up and told her the only reason I work so much is because she can't stop spending my money. Well, no. If she works, it's her money. If you work, it's her money. Money on things that we don't need or use. She refused to get a job or go to school to help out. I provide for the family, for my daughter. I'm always at her important dates, functions, doctor's appointments, and anything she needs. My wife refused to get the help through therapy or counseling. I don't want this anymore, and I'll have my lawyer send her the papers when she writes it up. I got my daughter's things and left with my sister. Awesome. That's it. He's done. And we're not quite done here on these things, but so let's review here. Is there anything redeemable about his wife? She doesn't work. She doesn't contribute. She bitches and complains about everything. Starts fights all the time. Clearly she's unhappy, but it sounds like she can never be happy. Always threatens to divorce him. Gives him shit when he has a family member stay over, even though she had her friends stay over for 5 weeks. And she doesn't do shit around the house. Oh, you're going to see that in a moment. She doesn't lift her finger. This guy does everything. Now, he is enabling her behavior in a lot of ways. He obviously means well and doesn't know what to do. But that's it. You walk. Now listen to this. It has been 2 days and she keeps calling and texting saying she is so sorry. She didn't mean it. She wants to go to counseling and therapy. She needs me. She misses me, etc. You see what happens when a man walks away? Instead of just fighting with her, he takes the daughter and leaves. Scares the shit out of her. She needs him to help pay the bills. I don't know what to do. I love her. She's a good mother, but I can't do this anymore. Internet strangers, please help. Please help. And he says also, yes, I have a lawyer for my family and work, and I've known her since I was 15. Dude, I see nothing redeemable about her. Okay? You can't be with somebody that constantly fights with you all the time, starts stupid fights over stupid shit, tells you they're going to divorce you if they don't get their way, and she's not helping you or contributing to you. It's all on it's all on you. No, this is just a bad situation. You haven't been married very long, 4 years. You're not going to take that much of a hit, and you say you love her, but I think you love the idea of her, not actually who she is, because who could love that? But she is the mother of your daughter, and you certainly don't want to go through the hell that's a divorce and all that shit, but it's just not good, and your daughter's going to pick up on this bullshit. Now, there are a few comments that he made in the comment section. I'm going to read here, just a little more information here. He says, I've offered several times in the post to help her with finding work and going back to school. Every time she would shut it down immediately. Yeah, because she's lazy, doesn't give a shit. I told her I would reduce my hours at work to help, but we'd have to cut back on spending. I know parenting is a full-time job. I propose options. My sister offered to watch her for a week if my wife had classes or work. My sister is genuinely and nice to everyone. She's not a gossip queen or a person who talks behind your back. I do 98% of the cooking, grocery shopping, and 80% of the cleaning, in charge of bath time as well as getting her to bed and waking her up in the morning. All this while working 60 hours a week. Smack! What the hell does she do all day? She's just watching The Price is Right and watching soap operas? Tell me you're getting some, even though I wouldn't want to touch this woman with a 100-meter pole. Dude, you're enabling her behavior. 98% of the cooking and all the other stuff. I like to cook too, but this is ridiculous. And she's bitching at you because you're never around? You kidding me? And doesn't want to work on the relationship? This is no point continuing this. It says here, not much has changed. Just finding what share of game she wants to play, my sister and my daughter. I would gladly switch with her. I hate working so much. I miss my family, miss my daughter. My wife's friend was a stranger to me, and I had never met her or seen her before. She was mentioned, I think, 2 times during a relationship, blah, 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 blah. I know my wife is a good mom. How? She doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, she doesn't do anything with the daughter. I've had off the past few days, and I had this week off as well. When we had our daughter, we agreed on a plan for budgeting until my wife would go back to school or work. We broke down the bills and paid future savings, daughter's future and fun money. Over the last year, because of unnecessary spending, it was unnecessary at all, we couldn't pay anything towards future savings. Also, the bonus I got was already spent before I got it. So you're not having control over your money as well. This guy is a good guy, but he's a pushover. And he's trying to appease her. And what happens when you appease a bully? They just see it as weakness, and they take more and more and more. She's a taker, okay? And this guy needs to grow. He's finally grown a spine, and he took the daughter and left. But it's not worth salvaging. He says, I'm not blameless by any means. I work so much to provide a good life for my wife and daughter. I fought for our relationship. It is hard to keep fighting when all my partner does is kick me when I'm down. I do not do it when my daughter's around, but my wife doesn't care who's in the room. So he will wait till the daughter's asleep or out of the house to engage her, but she'll just do it right there and make a big scene. Does this sound like a good environment to raise a child? Because that daughter, is going to think this is normal and end up in a relationship just like that and probably behave just like her mom, unless like she just hates to see her mom like this and says, I'm going to be different. This is why I say you end relationships like this, even marriages, that the kids see all this drama and turmoil. Now there's a bunch of other things here with replies, but I'm going to get back to his update, the main meat and potatoes of the story. He says, hello all. Unfortunately, this is not a sunshine and rainbows update. Gee, what a surprise given how wonderful and kind your wife is. I posted a few months back about how my wife kept throwing divorce in my face on a regular basis. That was until I did okay and got my daughter and left. I need to vent, so I posted it here. To clarify some questions I've gotten, I'll refer to as one of my comments on my OG post. I want to point out that some things that it seems was missed or looked over. I would do everything again if I had to, including taking my daughter. I pushed the wife to go out, find a job, get a hobby, meet new friends, and do something, anything. Asked for seeing someone for help. She would not listen or consider anything that I presented. She kept saying no, or she was not the problem. Your wife's a fucking narcissist. See? I'm not the problem, it's all you. And no, I'm not getting a job, and I'm not doing anything. My daughter is my priority. I don't fight with my wife in front of her or around her. I grew up in a bad household. I've been in a position where my dad got angry at my mom. My mom left, and my dad took it out on me. I don't ever want that for her. I don't know what my wife was going to do that night. So interesting that he married a woman, and now he's in a relationship just like his parents. Even though he didn't want to be like his parents, still, on some level, he was drawn to a woman probably like that would cause a situation just like his parents. This is why I say, if the marriage is that bad, leave, because the kids, very likely, whether they intend to or not, will end up in bad marriages just like this. No joke, guys. He says you can't force someone to get help. They have to want it. Actually want it. If you force someone, they will go through the motions and make it look like they changed. I'm not blameless in this. I can't raise my daughter with her thinking that's okay behavior, or this is how relationships are supposed to be like. I decided when I was young that I will never be like my dad. He says, so after I made my post, I had a bunch to think about. I decided that I had to make sure she knew how serious I was. We sat down. I flat out told her that I couldn't do this anymore. The fighting and threatening a divorce has to stop. She said she agreed and said she would not say it. I told her that the next time I was thrown out would be the last time. Okay. She's saying what she has to say because she saw he meant business. And a guy has to mean what he says and says what he means. And he said, you pull this, I'm going to divorce you shit one more time, I'm fucking out of here. Well, let's see what happens. We agreed to go to couples therapy. It was eye-opening. Things were said, feelings were brought up, and outside professional views helped us understand each other better. After a few sessions, I thought we were doing better. She started to apply herself more. She looked and obtained a job, made some friends, and got a hobby. That was until an argument started because we had plans in regards to our daughter that she overlooked and could not cancel the plan she made with some of her new coworkers. Bitch, our daughter comes first, not your coworkers. At what I considered the end of the argument, she said under her breath, I knew marrying you was a mistake. There you go. I looked at her, and the thing I remember most is how I did not recognize the woman that was standing there. She looked very different in my eyes. I didn't know who the woman was in front of me. I asked her to repeat herself, and she said, I should have divorced you years ago. Okay, remember when he said, you pull that shit one more time, we're done. Well, she's testing him, and also she's angry as fuck. I walked away and took my daughter to the plans alone, just as two. Exactly. I ended up filing for legal separation. Under the terms we both signed was something along the lines of, while separated, we are still legally married and will not get involved with anyone during that time period. You heard that. Not getting involved with anyone, she signed and agreed. Okay. Finances will be separated, but bills will stay currently split. I will still pay for insurance through work. Other things that were in it were therapy sessions. We'll continue both as individuals and couples. I would move in with my sister, and we shared custody of our daughter, 70 for me, 30 for her. Interesting. See, she doesn't care about the daughter either. You think she'd be fighting for that daughter. One day when I had my daughter, I needed my wife to take her. I let her know a week before, and she agreed. The morning of it, 7:30, I went to drop her off at the house and noticed an unfamiliar car in the driveway. Who could that be? I guess it's Amazon Prime delivering something. My first thought was, she must have a friend or a girlfriend over. I go to ring the doorbell out of respect, but still odd ringing your own doorbell, so she gets the house. And waiting with my daughter when a shirtless man about 20 years old opens the door and asks, who am I and what do I want? How about who are you, motherfucker? And this Chad here showing up the door with his shirt off. I asked for my wife He calls her, and she comes out of the corner in a robe in her favorite and goes from curious, shocked to a horrified, sad look. She knew you were coming over. She was doing it to piss you off. And worse yet, the daughter's there seeing this. Needless to say, in 3 months' time, when the legal separation ends, I'm filing for a decree of dissolution of the marriage. Hey, freaking men. Hallelujah, my man. My daughter is safe. She doesn't understand what's going on other than daddy and mommy are not happy with each other. As stated above, she is my priority. Yes, thank God the daughter's young enough that she's not going to be too impacted by this whole thing. But you gotta let her know you're always there and it's not her fault. I guess I did do the one thing I never wanted to do. The one thing I promised myself I would never become. But I guess it could be helped. I end up just like my parents. I don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. See? He doesn't know because that's what he's grown up. He's used to this. He was drawn to a woman just like his mom or his dad or whatever. I hope I can just show how much I have for my daughter and raise her the best I can. Thanks for the support, comments, love, and criticism. So anyhow, guys, I know he had a bunch of other little side comments about what was going on there. I chose not to read because I want to get to the real heart of the issue here. But at the end of the day is that someone is just treating you with so much disrespect, and you try and you try and you try, and there's nothing redeemable about them and the relationship. And don't say I'm staying for the kids and I want them to have a broken family, because they'll grow up thinking it's normal, and just like he did, got into a marriage and you saw what happened. But also, you can't enable somebody's behavior. Somebody's taking advantage of you. This guy was doing everything. And I guarantee it was an appeasement practice to make the wife happy, and the more he gave, the more she took. She's a fucking asshole. And I'm willing to bet you that she'll be back trying to get him to change his mind, because realizing she's going to have to actually pay for the bills and pay for this, pay for that. Who knows? But I hope like hell this guy gets primary custody. You know, already he has 70% with the daughter. I hope he gets 100% because she's a terrible mother. And he kept saying she's a good mother. I think he was trying to say that because he didn't want to admit, she's a terrible mother to his daughter. So anyhow, guys, good one here. Always walk away. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, you got a good story you'd like to share, definitely send it to me, strongsuccessfulmail@gmail.com. And also, guys, definitely check out my other channels if you haven't done already, Strong Successful Mail and SSM Clips. Lately, I've noticed that the views are down because a certain platform isn't promoting me very much like they used to, as it's been happening to a lot of content creators. So the more you guys subscribe to my other channels or tell your friends about me, it definitely helps me out. Hopefully that will come to an end, and if not, well, you gotta roll with the punches. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.